Hello and good evening and welcome to your Monday Night Plastic Crack podcast. This is season 4, episode 42. Ask us anything. The first question will be, where's Ken? He's having a family meal, did he say?
I believe something so.
Like yep. Something like that.
I like to think he's on the run from the Napoleonic Wargamer group.
I think so too.
Because for those of you who don't know, and I'm sure it's going to come up today, obviously the Napoleon film came out, people don't like it. Ken decided the best thing to do would be, in fact, shall I read out what he
do.
So Ken being the eternal wind-up that he is, decided to post up in the Napoleonic Wargamer group. What battle scene would you like to recreate from the Napoleon film? I think it blows Waterloo out of the water. Napoleon leading a cavalry charge was just pure class. His post was taken down within 20 seconds. And the best thing is, he was really proud. So
surprise.
Yeah. So no, that's where we are tonight. He's on the run.
He's on the run. He's hiding from Napoleonic Wargamers.
Yeah, they're out to get him. And
I was gonna say I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of a Napoleonic war game. I can imagine.
But I think they're advancing in line.
Yeah, but it'd be fine because Napoleon's charging, so he'll catch them. So it'd be easy, no problem at all.
Well, fantastic. Well. So tonight is gearing up to be an awesome stream. So we've got plenty of questions. There was a lot. I think I counted about 50 in the group. Plus there was some in the comments. Plus we got emailed some. Now, a lot of them were very similar to each other. So what we tried to do is filter those. So if we didn't ask your question exactly, it's probably because either we didn't like it or because there was one similar to it. But we'll try and get through as many as we can. Fortunately, you guys have helped us pick the topic for the next 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
With all of this. So thank you very much. As always, we are sponsored by the awesome people over at Boards and Swords over in Derby. And remember, if you make an order over there and you put in the code PCP5, you will get an additional 5% off your order on top of the discount they already give. And there's a lot of things being pre-ordered at the moment, I believe, between all of the Legions Imperialis and various other Warlord releases. Speaking of which, remember to stick around for the giveaway, which we'll do in the news section from last week, where Ian has very kindly offered to give away a copy of the Legions Imperialis rulebook. So we've got that all set up and ready to go as well. So yeah, lots going on. But anyway, how's everyone else? How are the two of you?
Really good. I've just got back from Ludlow. I had a great.
I know you. I know you did. So did you?
Don't show this off because Miller will be round to your house and he'll be robbing you.
He's not coming round. So when I went over to Dom's, he produced these crisps that essentially were garlic flavored, and you think, oh, they won't be very nice. They were like crack. They were amazing. So I just said, if you happen to get another one of these, could you send it my way? And look what just arrived. It's just before the stream. Look at this. Look at that. That's me sorted. That's Christmas sorted.
And I like the way you've locked them in your little room.
Yeah.
Nobody else is allowed near them.
No, they're not. No, they're absolutely not. As I said, I opened one bag and then I had to fight Haley off with a wooden spoon to get it back. I dare say, I'm a bit worried actually. I don't know where I've left it. I think I might have left it in the kit. Oh, I'll be gone now.
You've lost that.
But Miller says, "What's happening on the 15th? Are you coming round?" Oh no, I'll move them away by then. But so yeah, so you've been in,
mate.
I know. So you're in Ludlow, are you at the moment?
No, not now. I'm back now. I came back today, so I came back this afternoon. So I am back in the boot room here, and it was a bit cold, I have to say. No heating had been on here for a week and a half, and it was like, bloody hell, it's cold. So no.
What about you, Steve? How's everything going your way?
Yeah. Good. Yeah, lots of hobbying, lots of weird beers, lots of films, my usual fare.
Same old. Weird beer, weird films. Life is good. Let's say hello to a few people because I saw there was quite a lot in here. So here we go. Hang on, let's get back to the beginning. Okay, Leslie's here. 99 Pain, how are you doing, buddy? Hope you're well. Sashiel, hi. Not sure I've seen you here before, but welcome. City Lazy Pirate Painting, Lionheart, Gwindor, Paul's Paint Shed from a moist and dripping Mercia. Scottish Knights tonight. East Norfolk's is here, Blacks is here, Rogue Trooper, Simon Stokes, Carl Burke, David Few, Benjamin's here. Good evening, all. Painters and bolt action winter Germans. Do they have hand painted shields?
Yeah,
I think you're letting us down. I think you're letting us down if you're doing that. Why are you not painting more Saxons for the CrackCon? Craig Williams, Mort Six here, John Sowerbury, Crow, Kinsey, Carazette, Nick James, David Baker, Red, Steph Mobile Hospital, David Rayner's here. How you doing, dude? Jason Wilcox, Steve Harver, Louis Baby, Gary Wallace, History and Dice. How you doing, dude? Walkabout Games, Ian Wright, Luke, Shakos. How you doing, James? Daniel Justin, hello from LA. I really hope it's sunny there. And then we have John Below in from New Zealand. So it's on from LA and New Zealand watching. What's the difference between the two of you? LA's what? 7 hours behind?
LA will be about 8 hours behind us.
And how far ahead is New Zealand?
11 hours, I think.
Whew.
I can't do the maths on that, but it's
neither can I. Aren't they closer? The other way, I don't know. But Cardboard Fortress, how are you doing? Every time I see Cardboard Fortress, all I can think about is that episode of Community. That's all I can think about. Harpen, dude, how you doing? Not seen you for a while. Basement 1908, how you doing, dude? Thank you very much, by the way, for shout out for the PCP. On your video the other day. That was brilliant. And you are a brave man. You've painted far more Highlanders than I would ever dare.
Yeah, but he's a madman, isn't he? I mean, look at this.
I was going to say, Steve's tables, that you watch one, you think he can't go any further than this. I mean, he's reached his pinnacle. Next video comes out and it's like, right, yeah. There's only 10,000 figures on the table this time.
If anyone here hasn't seen Steve's channel, go over, check out Basement 1908 on YouTube. Go and check out Steve's stuff. It's just awesome. It really is, and it's just really good, wholesome, fun channel, like we used to be.
Yeah,
before we were
soiled by Ken. Yeah, jeez.
Wonder where that was going. We'll promise as well tonight that we're not going to go to the places. I re-listened to last week, and there's one point where Dom laughs, and I think I'm going to try and capture that laugh because I want it as my message tone. It's a bit like that, yeah. But I
just had no idea what was going on last week, and I was
no
with the time difference and everything. It was like, oh my god,
I know. Friends of General Haig, Mike Jones, Mark. How are you doing, Mark? Robin Rose Holden, Luke, Rich M, Mobile and Hostile. I think I Double Dip. I was about to say, where's Double Dip? There he is, as always.
Good.
Miller's Miniatures, who let you in. And Andrew King from Germany. Hello. Right, so we've got New Zealand, we've got Germany, we've got LA, we've got Yorkshire. So
and Mercia, don't forget Moist Mercia.
Oh, Mercia, Moist Mercia, Mercia. Maybe we could get a blank map of the UK and rename them to the place. John, no Ken, should be a sensible evening then. We'll try. We promise nothing. Robin says that I should be in the top left. Nah, we'd like to mix it up a little bit. Yeah. Ben Waddy's here. Rogue Trooper. I think that's everyone. If we've missed your name, sorry. You're all commenting so fast I can't keep up. Anyway, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're looking forward to it. So I think we should just dive right in. And find out what everyone has been up to. So I've just seen Benjamin's comment, but I'm not going to put it up. Andy, how are you doing, dude? So let's start with now, because I've already seen it, and I think we deserve answers, and we need to interrogate him. Steve,
we need answers. We need.
What have you been doing, dude? What have you been doing?
And when do you start your counselling? That's what we want to know.
I've been doing something a bit different. See if I can find them.
I love it how just painting 15 mil stuff for like a week has sent you funny.
I don't know what happened. Do you know where you just want to try something you've never tried? It's like people who've never tried peanut butter. They should try peanut butter because it's brilliant.
Yeah, carry on. I thought that was going.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll just put the picture up. So I've been working on some Afghan tribesmen by Perry Miniatures.
I mean,
first of all, the picture is amazing.
Yeah.
Also, you've stolen some bark from a playground or something behind?
No, that was very, very kindly given to me by Andy Shaw at CrackCon 2 or 3. He came up to me and said, "I've got this for you," and it was a bag of bark, and it's come in very handy for this. I don't have any answers really.
I mean, that is very cool.
Very good.
What's the film with Gene Hackman in where it's the French Foreign Legion and they got I don't know. It's not Afghan, is it? But yeah. Anyway, sorry. That's just reminding me. I can't remember what it's. Anyway, carry on. I'll be quiet now.
Look, I even painted a drummer.
What?
There's a drummer. Look at that.
He's drumming.
He's got a drum. Yeah. So that's what I've been up to.
I mean, they look awesome.
They look brilliant. So is this turning into a project? I mean, what are you doing? Is this just a one-off, momentary aneurysm? No. Right.
Perry Miniatures.
What's the name? Sorry, Mouse Road. March will die. Thank you.
That's it. Well done.
Mouse at Road.
These arrived on Saturday, and I've got another half box of the Afghan tribesmen to paint. So I think Dom's struggling to process this.
I'm lost. I am completely lost. I just did not see. I mean, sometimes your little side projects, you can see where they're coming from, and there's a little bit. This is like you've suddenly gone from here to there in one leap.
Yeah, it's like it's very much like I need to find a place of comfort. Well, actually, no, it's not even a place of comfort, is it? You've gone through the place of comfort to the other side.
Yeah. So they arrived last Saturday, and I just thought. I crack on. And I painted 5 that day, just in one go. I was like, because they're really, really easy to paint. And I thought, I should just leave it at that. Is my curiosity fully satisfied now? But now I've painted 14 of them. I'm going to paint the entire box. And Perry's do Afghan cavalry as well.
Lionheart. There we go. Here we go. Good stuff, mate. Good stuff.
So yes.
Funny enough, I've got a box sitting here that I'm still assembling as well of the same.
Oh, brilliant!
I got the Zulus. Does that count? We're not that far apart.
No,
no. There's something in the air, but I don't know. And then on Friday night, I watched Zulu again.
Yes,
because you've got to, haven't you? I've got no explanation for it. It just happened, and I'm really enjoying it. And I've already built 3 of the Perry's infantry on my break today when I was in work. So yes, that's me. Oh, and did you say Dan's in chat? Dan from Los Angeles.
Yes.
I caved in. I ordered one of those 10mm fantasy armies from Rock Miniatures.
Oh, we saw those at Warfare. I deliberately only looked once.
He was doing £10 off a starter box at the weekend. Warren very kindly copied me into a message on Facebook so that I knew. And then I was like, sod it, I'll just do it. So I've ordered a 10mm Orc and Goblin army. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. But yes, the Plastic Colonial.
Probably true.
That's a meeting I don't want to go to. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. Tonight I'm going back to reworking my bolt action Australians because I need to crack on with that project. I'm scared to think what's going to happen next. I mean, if somebody had said to me 6 weeks ago, Steve, you'd be doing a Afghan tribesman, I'll be like, what? Don't think so. When are you going to do some more epics, Steve? I've started. I've got two cannon prepped and ready to go.
Ah,
I've also
you've just had an invite to LA.
Have I?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think you should get it. Now, to be fair, getting Steve out of his house to Derby is a tall order.
If I ever found myself in LA, which I don't know, I don't know how to finish that sentence. Yeah, thanks for the invite. And I also built this, Martin. I put together one of my first
snake person
Ito clan from Bushido. So I'm
excellent.
currently working on that, and I'm also painting a woman with a big snake. So yeah, lots going on, lots of.
I'm sure there's a joke there somewhere, but we're not going to go there.
No, we're not. We don't need to, do we?
No,
everyone else
just leave that there. Leave it hanging.
I've just got lots of things going on at the moment.
You are just another. It's just a world of. The world, according to Steve, right now has just gone completely.
It's thrown us. We could set up. We could normally set our watch by you, Steve, and thrown it all out.
Yeah,
nothing makes sense. Dom, make some sense. What have you been doing?
Well, I'm gonna, confuse everybody even further by the fact I've done nothing.
I think I see you started
nothing at all.
Project or something.
No. I assembled a few figures while I was away, and I did sort of half paint some epic pike and shot, but I didn't finish anything, so nothing for me. Yeah. Sorry. I did knock off another 4 or 5 castles, if that counts.
A video? Have you got a video for each one?
I probably will do. Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah. Absolutely. Although someone complained the other day about the noise of the music being too loud at the beginning, so I might just pump that up even louder.
What? The intro music?
The intro music, yeah.
Oh, I get it at the time. Oh well.
But yes, that I'm afraid I have that's the soul. That's it. Nothing. Although I did partake of quite a lot of Black Friday stuff. So the postman and the courier is going to be a little bit busy. In the next
yes,
few days.
I bought something that went for a steal for £5, but I don't think. Oh dear. Well, we'll see when it turns up. I don't think it's be that surprising, but okay. So
what have you been doing?
What have I been doing? I made a lot of headway on the new project, which I know some people know. So there it is. Where is it? There we go.
Lovely jump.
Caesar's Gallic Wars. Now, I've been very lucky because I've been having a lot of chats with Warlord about this. So this is something I'm working on basically with them to put out and to do some content and then get some battle reports because they've got the new Caesar's Gallic Wars supplement. So essentially I've got this stuff and I'm speed painting it. So last stream I just assembled 2 units and I had a goal which was to paint them up in a week, basically, to see if to really speed paint. So not doing what I would normally do with lots of different highlights, just how could I get them essentially tabletop ready. And it was really hard because I had to not do things that I would normally do. So I limited myself to sort of one highlight. I dry brushed skin to make my life a lot quicker. I contrast painted it first of all, and then I for all the naked ghouls and that. Armor was very straightforward because on a Roman legionary, 60% of the model is the shield.
Yeah.
So I didn't. But so all that part of it is going to be behind the shield. I didn't bother highlighting anything behind it. I just put contrast paint on it and was like, well, it's going to be covered. It's in shadow. So went through, and this is the result. So here are my Romans. Here's my first unit of Romans.
Hey, nice.
So thank you. So 16 plus, I popped one of the casualty figures on there. He's had his hand chopped off. But he needed to have his shield on the ground as well. So they're a mix of, because when you buy them individually, you just get the Pelum ones or the Gladius ones, but in the box set here you get a mix. So I've divided them out so there'll be a mix between all of the units. So Pelum and Gladius, plus also there's a couple of some slings at the back that you can throw in, and I've tried to do that thing again I do on the bases where when you get to the corners, I've curved them round a bit so they're fighting to the sides.
Like it.
All right.
Which is just for me helps distinguish between a unit that's organized and one that is disorganized, if that makes sense. And also gives you that. Yes, those decals come in there, and they're just water slide ones rather than little big men ones. So I painted the shields and did actually the shields are the most highlighted thing because they were a base of contrast red, then stippled on light red, and then stippled on orange in the middle to give it like a one look, and then I just hit the whole thing with lots of pigments at the bottom to just make them look. So there we go. If Ken was here to say they're proper Romans, that's why Ken's not here. Ken still couldn't find Rome on a map, so we were. So there's the Romans. So I did these. Well, I'll tell you how long these took, and then so I did those this week, and I also did this unit of Gauls this week as well.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Who were a lot of fun. These are really easy to paint up quite quickly and get some hot, some. So all I did with the skin was I did all the skin first. I just did Guilliman flesh over it, or Darko flesh, whichever one it was, and then I just dry brushed a mid-tone flesh over it. I can't remember which one I used. Just a normal flesh color over it, really quickly, and that's it. That's all I did. And then I picked out every few models, either got some stripes or some tattoos or something like that, and just whacked them on. But I've decided to do them in the way that I've done my my Zulu project, which is at the organize, because these are all war bands. They've got 4 bases that are a lot deeper, whereas the Romans have got 3 bases wide, but they still all conform to what a standard unit should be in Hail Caesar. Because obviously I'm doing this for Hail Caesar because I'm doing it with for Warlord, and these things out. And here you go. Here's a picture of them all. Here's a picture of them facing off because I had to do that. But that was a lot of fun. So I did that in a week, and I did time myself. So both those units, getting them all done from painting time for both was 6 hours. So 3 hours each.
That's pretty good. Blimey.
Which I was quite chuffed with.
Yeah.
Not counting drying time. Although I did turn, much to Haley's annoyance, I did turn one of the oil heaters on and had little models drying on it with basing. So like it's like with the basing, I didn't bother doing anything too fancy. It's just basing pastes and then tufts and a bit of dry brushing here and there and some pigment. That's it. Just slap it on as fast as I could. I was just trying to get them, as Don would say, boots on the table.
Boots on the table is the thing.
That's it.
You're taking my strap line. And could you find yourself? I know you're doing this for this particular project and to get them done as quickly as you can for that. But would you do it again, or would you find it very
fast paintings? You mean?
Yeah, fast.
For models like this, where again, I've said this before about like the gripping beast plastics and some of the Fireforge ones. These are very straightforward models, and I don't mean that in a bad way. They're no frills, There's no hint. It's a Roman with a gladius, and most of him's covered by a shield. So for stuff like that, yes, I think I would. For models more like the Reconquer design stuff, or the Perry stuff that's in more animated poses, there's a lot more detail. I would still probably find it quite hard to not do that. And I did catch myself a couple of times, trying really, really hard to not, go back and add another highlight in a couple of places. So, for example, on the cloth, it's just a contrast red, and then just a quick whip by with scarlet red, because I just have them on. I had 3 or 4 of them on lollipop sticks, and I just paint them 4 at a time. And I just whipped through them. I was really pleased, considering I was catching basically as Haley was watching I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. I was painting, so that's the time. So it was 1 hour. It was
that was your allocation to do them. I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued though, because you're always. You spend so much time normally with your figures, and I just wondered whether you'd find that really just kind of dissatisfying.
I didn't find it dissatisfying because I've got a goal, which is to get them on, get these on the table to play some games. And to me, there's. See, I'm going to probably get flamed. This Romans are Roman, especially with the shield. The main thing when you look at the Roman units are you want to see a cool shield, and you want to see some plumes and some gladiuses coming over. You don't really care too much about the chainmail. Or bits like that. With the Gauls, you want to see some. It's a big mass, and you want to see some individuals in there with stripy trousers, waving heads, or with lots of talks on. So if you pick out every few, basically on a lollipop stick, I had 3 miniatures, and on each lollipop stick, one of them got stripy trousers or got tattoos or something.
Got you.
That's how and then I thought a third of the unit is then standouty. So that's all I did. I was really pleased. So if I can keep up the same pace, then I should have that whole box done by Christmas. There's a video coming out this week on it because they sent me a couple of other things as well, and I've gone and bought extra stuff to put in it as well. So we should be able to having some small games very, very soon. So yeah. Plus also it's Caesar, and I love Caesar, and also it gives me an excuse to rewatch Rome. I know that's at the end of the Gallic Wars, but I'll think of all the little bits I can rip off to put in my videos.
Yes.
But yes, so yeah, I was excited. Plus, also there has been chat about, because I know Paul's looking at Caesareans, I know James is looking at Caesareans, I know there was someone else. So just saying, by CrackCon 5, there's going to be a lot of Romans, and if we've only got Romans, the only answer is Civil War.
I might be doing some Gauls. That might be one of my things for the future.
Well, Gauls, but there's plenty of Gallic allies, isn't there? Someone's got to be sent in first.
I'm not working with scummy Romans. Jeez.
Have you seen their stats for Hail Caesar? They are brutal. I mean, obviously they suck if they get. I love it because they're one of the few units I've seen in Hail Caesar who, apart from heavy cavalry, you have an enormous clash value and then a tiny sustained value. Plus, I like the rules about adding in druids and all of that. So there we go. That's what I've been doing. I'm very pleased. So you'll probably see some other posts coming up, like pictures and things of Romans, many Romans. Anyway, shall we get into the meat of tonight's episode, which of course was Ask Us Anything within reason.
After last week, I think that has to be a major caveat right there.
I think we need that disclaimer on every episode, frankly.
I played that for Haley, like after we'd finished. She couldn't stop laughing and just asked what was wrong with him. And I just said it's Ken. She's like, what's wrong with him? It's Ken. It's Ken. Right then. So I'm going to go through these in no particular order. Now, I didn't write down second names, so if it looks like one person has asked a lot of questions, they're not. It's just I've realised we have a lot of Seans, a lot of Richards, and a lot of Davids in the group. If it's doubles like, it's probably because I was lazy and only told two. Now let's have a look. I think this is a good one to get things started. So what is your favorite range of figures ever, Steve? So what we'll do, we'll put this up. We're going to try and keep it to 5 minutes or so, maybe per question, and we'll try and come up with something definitive or have a good argument in there. So let's start with Dom, because we know what the answer is going to be.
What do you? I don't know. I'm just trying to think through. What would I put as my favorite? Are we just talking about the entire range they do?
No, I think it'd be a specific range within, because I think it would be, for example, Warlord Caesareans or Fireforge. But it's
not going to be any of those. That's
no, exactly. So, what would you?
I think. Well, I think it's got to be a Perry, hasn't it? It's got to be a Perry range, and I think you could pick out pretty much any of their stuff. I think I'm going to go Napoleonics. Then Perry Napoleonics.
See, that surprises me.
Yeah,
because I didn't think anything got you as moist as the Ottomans, because you went on and on and on about them.
Well, they're Napoleonics, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're very different to Ottomans.
Yeah, well, I love the figures. They are absolutely awesome. But since I haven't painted them yet, I'm kind of counting them as a future.
Oh, I see.
Love fest. But at the moment, I honestly think I love pretty much everything I've seen that the Perrys do Napoleonic wise, plastic or metal, and they would leap to the front. I think some of their sculpting, well, it goes without saying their sculpting is amazing, but some of the figures, they work so hard, as we know when they've been on, being as authentic as they possibly can. I think that to me just wins out every single time.
Yeah. What I'm going to do, normally we would star comments and put them at the end, but because we're going to go through so many questions, what we'll do, we'll go through this, and then I'll just nip through the comments that are relevant to each question. Otherwise, we're going to get so confused. So, what about you, Steve? What's your favorite range?
This is a bit of a strange one. I'm going to say, of recent times, I'm going to say the Australian, the ones I'm working on, the Australian Warlord. The Australian bolt action range by Warlord Games. It's a fully metal range, no plastics. But I just think they did a fantastic job on them. I'm sort of repainting, re-sprucing mine now, and it's honestly really got me interested in Pacific gaming again. So I'm going to be badgering my mate to dig out his Japanese so we can get a few more games in. But I just think it's a wonderful range. I never thought, again, me praising a full 100% metal range, no kit bashing, no nothing. I just think it's a wonderful range. It's sculpted well. It's full of character. It's just a really nice, enjoyable range to paint up.
Okay,
can't fault you.
That's a good one. See, for myself, I suppose everyone expects me to say Perry's War of the Roses. I think I would have to say that is my favorite range. I think it's incredible. I think it's a really versatile range of 5 boxes that are completely interchangeable, and essentially they don't need to do any more. Everything is covered by those 5 boxes that you could possibly want. I mean, obviously, I want more. But I'm just greedy. If I had to pick because they're big and well established, I'm going to cheat and I'm going to pick one more.
Oh,
can I do that? Can I do that? I think there's one that I think deserves honourable mention, and that's Bloody Miniatures, because I love every single model that guy puts out.
You can't argue with that, to be fair.
And I think that it's a range that does what it says on the tip that he set out to do. He had his mission statement of individual characterful models to bring units to life or play skirmish games with. So yeah, that's what I think he did here. Let's see. So Dom, you said Perry Napoleonics.
Yeah.
Pacific stuff for Steve, and me War of the Roses Perry. So let's see what we've got here. Panzer Kaput says it's the Footsole's very British Civil War. Footsole's Baron War and Outremer. Those ranges are very cool.
They are very good.
Paul Hicks there.
My only criticism of them, Panzer, is how soft the metal is. I find that really frustrating with some of those.
I was surprised you didn't say Grip and Beast metals, especially the hands, Dom. That's. I know James is joking, but Warlord Prussian Landwehr, anyone?
Yeah.
Lot of love for Footsore. Lot of love for Footsore here. Luke, Footsore early Saxons. Satchel Test of Honor, so I can have a Test of Honor miniatures are nice. If we're talking the metal grey for now ones, not the War Games Factory ones. No Burrows and Badgers, he says, for the favourite range.
That gets an honourable mention from me because they are exquisite.
So we've got an honourable mention. So I've done an honourable mention. You've done an honourable mention, and this one should probably be Dom's. Piano miniatures, anyone?
Oh yeah, I mean they are the Dom's doodahs. Definitely. Yeah. The only thing that holds me back on that is that beyond the Vertes, I'm not sure I'm necessarily that bothered about the rest of the 1908 range he's doing. But when he gets onto other stuff,
wow. John said Medbury miniatures.
Can't disagree with you, John. They are awesome.
And Lionheart said the Victrix Dark Age range. I mean, obviously that covers a lot. That's Saxons, Normans. There's a lot in there. Yeah, there's a lot in there.
True.
Almost too much variety. Much variety. Offensive miniatures.
They would definitely get an honourable from me. They are lovely. Yes, mate.
I was going to say no honourable mention for Rubicon.
I did see they had a sale on. That wasn't part of my sale.
All right, okay.
Well, Don, you still got a Christmas present to come yet. What would you rather have, a 1,000 piece puzzle or a Rubicon model?
Oh, the puzzle any day.
I wonder if could we get a can we take a screenshot or just take a picture of a Rubicon kit and have it made into a jigsaw?
They are bloody jigsaws, aren't they?
Can we have the instructions? Steve, can you scan one of the instruction sets and we'll make it into a jigsaw?
I could do that.
And send Dom the sprues. He's got to do the jigsaw so he can put the model together.
My mate just built a Rubicon Matilda, and he said it was one of the nicest kits he's ever put together.
Your mate needs more kits.
Yeah.
David said Claymore castings. They're very, very good. Mark is a fan of front rank Napoleonics.
Yeah. Very good too.
And Robin said AB 21.
Yeah.
And of course Reconquer. Yeah, Reconquer. I noticed nobody has said Ragged Staff Miniatures. I'm just going to just move down. Speaking of which, the store's open again as well. I meant to say that earlier on.
Oh, he's doing advertising as well. Jeez.
I need some Christmas money to spend on my family. But it's actually madness. I reopened the store after that massive order, and then I thought, it'll be a little while before some orders come in. No, they all came in, so the printer was fired up and going again. Oh no, there we go. Thank you, Dave. Just Dave. Well done. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey,
creep.
Creep.
Thank you very much. Right then. Okay.
It's almost easier to say we wouldn't do it because we'd probably get in all kinds of trouble. But which ranges do you not like? Because there are. I mean, there's so many you would say honourable mention there. I mean,
I think Steve would quite happily say about a certain skeleton kit that.
Yeah.
That would do. I have one in there. That'll be for the Christmas episode when we've had a few. Right then, okay, so there we go. That was question number 1. There we go. That was civilized, wasn't it?
Yeah, very good.
Let's pick another one. What have we got here? Jonas had a good one. How important is it to win? Steve.
Given my dice rolling, not very important.
Do you have a more holistic outlook?
No, it isn't. It isn't important at all. As long as you and your opponent have a good, enjoy yourself and have a good time. I've said it before. I couldn't give 2 figs who wins. As long as I enjoy myself, and it's been a good game. It's for me. It's irrelevant to wargaming. I mean, if you want to win at all costs, knock yourself out. But it's not one for me. I just prefer to see nice painted miniatures on a nice table and have a few hours with my friends throwing some dice around, and I couldn't care who wins or loses.
That's pretty good. I mean, my personal view is I don't care less unless it's Ken. Because you have to hear about it.
Yeah,
I know we
is a really nasty winner, isn't he? He bloody he never lets you live it down. Jeez, he's
but the thing is, he turns up at your house like some kind of like gremlin because you've said his name in the mirror 5 times.
Yeah.
He eats your food, then he complains. So you get blacklisted by whatever takeaway service he's using. He wins the game around your house, and he buggers off at 4 a.m. without saying goodbye. But make sure he makes a cup of tea and has some breakfast first. There you go. That's what's it. What about you, Tom? What do you think? What does winning? Is it?
I live by Genghis Khan's motto about there's nothing better than seeing your enemy ground into dust and jumping up and down on the grave or something like that. No, I have to say I don't genuinely. I like to win. I like to. It's like when you used to play ball games. At school and stuff, and people just said, "Oh, just enjoy it for the." No, I want to win. I can't see the point. Otherwise, why do I want to do it? But I think as I have got older, that said, I think whatever, even though I want to win, if I don't win and it's been a really good game, I'm very happy with that. Very happy with that. But I always want to win. Can't see the point.
I found myself, it depends. I found myself, it actually kind of depends on the game. I found myself wanting to win more since we've been playing campaign because I want the campaign to go my way because there's actually stakes, especially in like Rangers. Well, I would say in Rangers of Shadow Deep, but I died. So I wanted them to lose the next game, even though it's cooperative. I wanted them to feel my pain. And But I think if you're invested in it, it's a bit like playing a role-playing game. You want to win because you don't want the character that you spent ages like developing to get brutally murdered and left in a dungeon, which is what Haley did to me once in a game. I'd just like to add, so I didn't get left in anyway. Moving on, let's see what the chat is shot. Red Steph says he wouldn't know. You don't need to win. John says he does this for the crack. Absolutely. I mean,
absolutely.
We probably spend longer, me and Robin, setting up the table than we do playing because we want it to look just awesome. And yeah, you want to talk about these battles to people. Obviously, hopefully, people who are interested. I do have a tendency to babble at people who aren't. Mainly my wife. Don says it's not important at all. I never go into a game hoping to lose. I just don't care as long as I've had a good time. That's the thing. The thing is, if you've not had a good time and you lose,
that is the worst thing in the world. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I found it since I don't go to tournaments and I don't really play very competitive people that I generally don't have bad games. I have games where they've gone badly because I've just rolled terribly or stuff's gone wrong, but I genuinely don't have any bad games because I fight against an arsehole or something like that because I just don't play with those type of people.
The only time I've ever not wanted to lose, I think I've mentioned this before, was one time as an X-Wing tournament. A year before, the guy had won, and he blatantly cheated his way through. He kept knocking his ships.
Yes,
and,
the
asteroid got mysteriously knocked by his elbow. Oh, isn't that terrible? And I got drawn with him a year later, and I absolutely wiped the floor with him in 25 minutes. It was all I could do to stop from leaping on that table and dancing like a lunatic because I just felt so good because he was so annoyed, and he barely knocked his shield off any of my ships. I totaled him, and it was a great day. It really was. I hope he went home and cried.
If you're watching. Let us know how that felt.
Yeah. I mean, you're still getting counselling for that.
It sounds like what you did there was for the greater good.
Yeah, so, it was.
Stuart. Oh, hello, Kevin. How you doing, dude? Steve says only if your opponent is called Drew. Oh, that is mean.
Ooh,
that is mean. Mark is with me here. He likes how the table looks more than winning the game. Shaco's said he's winning similar to managing to stay alive. Go away. Go away, you mean man. You mean man. Berwin, middle man. And it wasn't just, but you got to remember, it wasn't just my character. It was his underling as well. he got him and his help. Because in that, you're meant to take over. The underling is meant to then become your character. One of your companions is meant to become your character. It'd be like the away team in Star Trek, one of the red shirts suddenly getting promoted because Riker's been killed. But I couldn't even do that because he'd been wiped out. Leslie, did Ken not ask for a refund? At my house, he wouldn't dare in front of Haley. He wouldn't dare. Dan's got to leave us due to an ill-timed PT appointment. He'll watch the rest on catch up. Please do, because I've got one of your pictures in for the end of the stream, and very nice it is as well. John says the true secret is to enjoy losing. If you know how you are playing the right game with the right people. Absolutely. I get confused when I win. I think we've done something wrong. I think we played the game wrong. And I'll be playing against my mate Kev, and I tend to win 1 in maybe 5 games against him. So when he beats me, I'm a little bit confused. And I sit there looking at the rule book going, have we done this right? Surely not. Paul says he couldn't care less because his dice rolls won't let him win. And Dave, this is what I thought he was going to say. What's best in life? To crush your enemies. Crush your enemies.
There you go. Lamentation. Good man, Dave. Yeah, I'm with you.
Good man, Dave. That sounds like something that should go on a t-shirt.
Yeah,
crush your enemies' models, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of their players. Hear the lamentations on Facebook.
That's the Genghis Khan quote, I think.
When you have one of these corporate inspirational speakers, if they started their seminar by saying that, I might actually stay. I'd be interested to hear what they would say moving forward. If your motivation is to crush your enemies, yes. I don't like losing at Monopoly. I just want to throw that out there. If I play Monopoly, I'm not playing to lose. I'm playing to win, and yeah, it's quite competitive.
So what's the difference? Why does that make a difference? I don't get it.
What, Monopoly?
Yeah.
Because I just want to. It's a completely different mindset, isn't it? It's there's no nice figures, just a board. I'm usually the dog.
So, are you more competitive in board games than you are in?
I just like to see people go bankrupt.
If you were playing
Probably
board games, you're
Monopoly.
much more competitive. Yeah.
I find actually saying that I get quite competitive playing Magic the Gathering as well.
I do. I do.
Yeah,
playing Magic the Gathering.
I could be quite. I don't like losing at Magic the Gathering. I just don't like it. It's just something about it.
Haley and I, we stopped playing it because it got nasty. So we stopped playing it because we, as soon as we started introducing planeswalkers and things like that. Haley made me go and show her where the rules were that they could be used in the game. So at that point, we realised that for our relationship, it was better that we just didn't play it. It also doesn't help that I played against my little cousins. All got into it. You know, I mean, they're all in their early 20s now, but they were sort of 14 and things at the time. And one of them has, I'm not joking, has an idyllic memory, and he can remember everything you have played. And he would essentially say, I'm going to beat you in 5 turns. And you'd be like, no, you're not. He goes, yes, you are, because you're going to have to play something like this. And I'm going to play this. It stops you playing this. Then I'm going to do this. It recycles your deck. And then I'm going to tap all this and you've lost. So should we just call it a game now? And then I said, when are you going to go to Las Vegas? Because right, let's have a look at another one. So we got a good one here from Robin, which is ignoring restrictions like club and shop hours. What is the optimum time for a normal size game to take? Do you enjoy a slower pace 3 to 5 hours, or is your brain hurting after 90 minutes?
Oh, that's a good question.
Whoa. I mean, personally, I prefer. I mean, depending on the type of game, if it's a mass battle game, then I want 3 to 5 hours of gaming for mass battles. If I've got that many miniatures on the table, skirmish game, 90 minutes to 2 hours, I'd probably say. For me,
I would tend to agree. Yeah, I think that's good. I think we all seem to love big games, don't we? So and I don't think you can really. I put it the other way. I put it be very frustrated if you were playing a big game and it finished after 40 minutes.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what is the point of that, really? So I kind of 3 hours. Yeah, lovely. 3 or 4 hours. I mean, if I could do longer, then fantastic. But
enough time to have a few pints, almost as if someone puts on a gaming day in Derby and you get a good 8. You know, was it? How many hours of gaming do we get? 1, 2, 7 hours with some food. I think so. 6 hours of gaming, really. So it's perfect for a mass battle game and a skirmish game.
153. 153.
I think for me, it's 3 to 5. Anything. Once I start approaching 4.5 hours, 5 hours, my brain starts to curdle, and I lose concentration. Remember I told you about that massive game that me and my mate had? It's like 3,500 point bolt action game. That went on. It felt like about 4 years. And because there was about 30 dice in the bag, I was like, for God's sake, that was easily 5.5, 6 hours long. And
see, to me, if that game's fun, I don't mind. That keeps me going. I get headaches with things like Saga or something where you really got to think about everything. It micromanage your resources. 159 now.
There we go.
Hey. Yeah, that kind of thing gives me a headache. But the game we played at CrackCon this year, that Napoleonic game must have been, we started at 10 o'clock and we finished about 3:30, something like that, 4 o'clock. And I was perfectly happy to keep going. I agree with John, though.
That's because you were kicking ass.
Well, I was kicking ass. Yes, I was.
Everyone else was sitting there going,
I was saying, come on, keep going.
There was me going, we've got to do the raffle, Dom. We've got to do I'll be there in a minute. I just want to sort out this melee. They're all going, no, we'll go to the raffle. You're like, no.
It's not quite true, but there you go. I agree with John, though, that your head and back hurts. Your feet and back hurt.
What about games with a set time limit? So when we play we used to play X-Wing, it was 60 minutes, and we would end on 60 minutes. And I like that because excuse me, you knew how many games you were going to get in. It was just a comfortable time. It was a comfortable playing time.
I get frustrated because
Yeah,
if you know that in the next turn you could turn the whole. This is something we found with the Hail Caesar and the campaigning rules and the victory conditions, because it would look like you've blatantly won, but you know in the next turn, because you've got a unit bearing down on your commander the next. So it's why we do variable turn length in games, just to see if there's that chance that that someone could maybe pip it at the last moment.
Yeah, it's that last turn dash, isn't it? Which is frustrating.
Yeah. I think that's it. I think for board games, it's not so bad. There's a lot of board games where you have mechanics built in that end the game. I mean, Test of Honor and 0200 have it, because it's to do with like when the certain count is drawn out the bag for the X amount of time, the German reinforcement. And so I guess it would be scenario driven. If you're trying to do like a raid and you can have a natural cutoff point by the time you spent too long and the guards are awake or the reinforcements have arrived. But in a mass battle game, I think you have to kind of, if you're going to do that, you'd have to call it. You say that when, for example, you've got five brigades on the board, when 3 of them are broken, then the army routs, and that would be the end of the game, kind of thing. That would be how to. I think if someone said we've got, it's hard when you're doing battle reports, because you say, we're playing a 6-turn game, and no doubt in the 6th turn you've got one man standing an objective with 20 in front of him, we're about to come and knock him off of it. But you're like, no, game ended and we won.
Yeah,
I know. With X-wing, it gets if you had like 10 minutes left and you thought, I've got a really fast ship and they haven't. I'm gonna give it toes over the other side of the board and then not.
You're like the Monopoly man.
Oh yes. We used to make up our own rules for Monopoly. Things like if you roll like 3 doubles in a row, there's a random gas explosion on one of your properties, and you lose all the properties on there, just to give it a bit of.
I quite like that. That's quite good.
A bit of spice. But yeah, X-wing. There was a thing where if you were approaching the end and you had faster ships, you could just spend the last turn or so just outmaneuvering your opponent and winding down the clock.
Yeah. I know. There's quite a few. That's when things get very tactical, and I suppose that's the difference between tournament play and narrative play, isn't it?
Oh, God.
Don says if it goes beyond 5 hours, he starts losing focus. The Johns trumps that with 7 hours. He loses the
7 hours.
7 hours. I'm impressed. Like that.
No, that's a good one. That was a good question.
Good question.
That was a good question. I like that one. Let's see what's the next one out of the hat. No, this one's a bit philosophical. This is from Sean. Sean submitted a few actually. Are you all happy with the direction your involvement in the hobby you love has gone? Or if money wasn't an option, would you do anything differently, Sean? He likes to really kind of drill down into the psyche, doesn't he? Are you happy with the direction your involvement in the hobby has gone? I can kick this one off if you like. I would say yes. I'm probably more involved in the hobby now than any point, and obviously a lot of that is down to the channel and being able to chat to you guys and chat to the community, and I love it. And I say, if money wasn't an option, would I do anything differently? Probably not. I would just want to be find these communities and just be part of them. I love that involvement. I'd like to think that if I didn't have the channel, I'd still be posting pictures and I used to on forums quite a lot. I posted loads of stuff on the Privateer Press forums, which ended up getting really like scorpic. And not a little bit hard. I don't know if you ever went on Steve when you were in it, but yeah. So yeah, no, I don't think I would do anything differently. But I'm very pleased with sort of where things are going, and I just enjoy it. What about you two?
I was actually thinking the other day, because it's coming up to 5 years since I set up my channel, and I was thinking about what if I hadn't. If I hadn't made that decision to make a channel, and I was just posting, pictures on my very small Facebook group, and I wasn't really there was no PCP community. There was no, and I wouldn't. There was a couple of YouTube channels I used to comment on, but it was just sort of now and again. I honestly actually think, am I happy? I'm very, very happy with where my hobby time is at the moment. Just such a great community of people, and it's just opened up doors and opportunities. I mean, CrackCon, for example, is a fantastic example of where the hobby can go if you've got a good community. But yeah, it is a bit of a strange one. I was thinking, if I hadn't taken that decision, where would I be hobby wise now? And I think I'd be poorer for it. I really would be. I wouldn't have the friends, the connections, just the general community feel.
I wouldn't have done project. Mark says here, he said since watching the podcast, he does more ranges than he ever would have done, and that's an awesome thing. I'd like to think that maybe, because we are I know we take the mickey out of certain things, and but we are a broad church wargame. We've always said that this podcast, obviously, I know we have a fair historical focus, but we have enough weird shit and sci-fi and fantasy as well. And there are people who I'd like to think you maybe have come here through those reasons, who then try something fantastical or stick tufts on things, or vice versa. People like Dom, who's painting anthropomorphical animals smoking pipes. Would you have done that?
No bloody way, no chance, not at all. I mean, I agree though with both of you. I genuinely, I love where things are with the hobby. For me, I love the balance. I mean, I would love to do more, but then maybe that would actually kind of, I don't know, turn me off somehow to it. But I just love where things in. So would I change anything? Probably not, actually. No. Which is a bit of an odd thing, really. But I agree with you all that I love this community, and I think being involved in it in some small part, doing this podcast and doing what we do with the videos and stuff like that, genuinely is the most fun I have. I absolutely love it. Would I, okay, you have to put up with Ken talking about female sanitary products from time to time and other weird stuff. But, it's kind of just, I don't know. It does really, it's a brilliant.
Can we just add something to that? Obviously, you guys aren't around for the discussion that happens after the show. We had to listen to this for another 20 minutes because we quizzed him to the core about this. We had to listen to that, and then we all went away feeling worse.
It's true. It's very true.
No one went to bed happy that night.
No. I went to bed curled up in a ball, questioning my life choices.
There we go. So
another thing as well was, sorry, Martin, would be,
no, go for it.
When I set up my channel 5 years ago, the only thing I was really interested in was bolt action. I didn't have any interest outside of it. It was just, this is brilliant. I'm painting bolt action, discussing bolt action with my mate. I was on, bolt action thing on Facebook. And I was watching like Travis and Ken and Tabletop Battle. They were all playing bolt action. So although I knew there was other periods and conflicts and games and rule systems out there, I think being part of this community was the kick up the arse that I needed to get involved in other things, branch out, try different things. And yeah, I will be eternally grateful for what that decision to set up a YouTube channel, what that has done for me as part of the hobby, and just interacting with other people and meeting some fantastic people over the years. It has been great, and it's quite terrifying that if I hadn't made that decision, where would my hobby have gone? Would I have been distracted and not bothered with it anymore? Or I don't know. It really has kept me focused.
Yeah, and without being all gushy, the four of us have become really good mates.
Yes,
and yet we would never have met other than this. It's just
no,
and the ascended community that we have. I mean, we're getting to know people all over the place.
I wouldn't have these games with Robin. I mean, I'd spoken to Miller through Discord, but with Robin and Matt and Millen and the people who I game with now. And I'm eternally grateful to the people who I game with before that, and I still game with them, but it's just widened the family, if you like, the game family. So let's have a look at what some people have said. So Jeremy put, if you didn't find Steve's channel, he wouldn't have got into minis, and he loves painting bolt action now.
Oh, Fantastic. Cheers,
Lot,
Jeremy.
lot,
That's awesome.
Benjamin says, my bank man would sleep better at night if he hadn't found our podcast.
That's the downside, Benjamin. That is the downside. Sorry.
Again, Don, for you, Steve, says if you hadn't set up your channel, his bolt action stuff, I can't pronounce that, would look like ass. So I'm glad you started it.
Cheers, Don.
There you go. And John said, honestly, he went to see his folks in the UK this year because he combined it with crack. Oh, dude. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Another thing as well is that I always say it, but I always appreciate it. I mean, you guys are taking 2 hours out of your week, out of your Monday night, to come and spend time with us, and that gives you that warm, fuzzy, glowing feeling. It really does.
It does.
The people, like-minded people, are taking time out to spend time listening to you.
Well, yeah, and it's the same when you put up a video that you're making, and then there's people who want to watch it and care enough to actually take the time to comment. The people who comment on it that you've never seen before, that have something mean to say, we don't really care about. But the other people who take time, I mean, it's great. In the last one, I opened it up and just said to people in the last battle report I did about what could we add to the campaign system, because it's a growing, evolving thing. I'm not putting out a video and going, this is it, and suggestions and ideas and things like forth, and it's so collaborative, and I love it. Lionheart says if it wasn't for the PCP, he doesn't think he'd have the confidence to post his pictures in any other group.
Oh yeah.
Road Trooper says I have certainly spent a fortune since starting to watch you lot. This seems to be a common theme.
Sorry.
Old school then had to say I need to catch up after missing last episode. You don't. It needs to be confined to Route 101.
Yeah.
And then Don just finishes one, says every week in the stream he hears about a time period or scale or a battle, or at least he'll be thinking about gaming it, like 20 mil World War II. I'm not doing it, but I thought long and hard about it. Yeah. And then Louis said, give it a rest with the mushy stuff. Talk hobby. We are talking hobby.
True.
We are talking.
We're right. All right. We'll get away. We'll get away. Let's find something more not interesting. Let's find something. Let's have a look. Benjamin.
Oh God.
People always ask what historical person you would like to meet, but who is the one historical person you would least like to spend any amount of time with? Cromwell, because it would just be really dull, and you'd probably get executed at the end of it.
Oh, God, it'd be like that episode of Blackadder, with the white adder.
Right.
It would just...
So that's 2 for Cromwell. This is going to be a quick one, Tom.
That's a really good question. I mean, there are some seriously nasty pieces of work out that I'm not sure I necessarily want. I'll go with Cromwell too, just to cop out.
Right, there we go. That was easy. Cromwell, you shit. There we go. Right, let's have a look. Let's find something that's actually sort of more gaming. Okay, this is quite a good one. I quite like this one. What is the most impressive feat one of your miniature units has ever achieved on the tabletop battlefield? For example, an epic last stand, a victory against the odds, militia units routing the old guard. And that's from David.
Oh, that's a toughie.
That's a good. Oh, bloody hell. I did take part in a massive, I think I've talked about these before now, years ago doing somewhere around Oxford way, going to some sort of like a really big scout hall where they used to put on massive reenactment games, 28mm Napoleonics. And I played, I forget which battle it was now, but it was one of the Leipzig campaign games. And I was given a command of Austrian cavalry to look after. And all the cuirassiers and stuff like that didn't do absolutely squat. One small regiment of hussars managed to rout most of the Imperial Guard cavalry and a large percentage of a French cuirassier brigade. And they just stripped them off the table. And that was just like, oh my God. And I don't even like the Austrians, but that was a memorable moment. Definitely.
Nice one. What about you, Steve?
I think it wasn't really a heroic feat. It was just what he managed to do. I was playing a game of ball action against my mate, and in turn one, my sniper killed his HQ unit, and it seemed to do something to his mind, because rather than try and win the game, he just wanted to take out the sniper team, and it was in hard cover. It was a small team. He was not getting shifted out of that watchtower, and he became focused. And I was like, you do realize I do have other units on this table. He got so preoccupied. That was the game where he didn't notice that I was running two flamethrower teams down, one down each flank.
Oh, I remember you talking about this.
Yes. And both of his flanks collapsed in one turn of firing, and then the game ended after that. And he was like, "Yeah, I got a bit too preoccupied with that sniper." I was like, "You don't say."
It's so funny when people do that, though, isn't it? Really, it's like obsessed with a particular unit or figure or whatever. I've got to kill him.
The red mist descend. I mean, it's not nice having your commander killed by a sniper in the first or second.
Oh well, that would be me in a certain, green coloured unit on the table. For me, I'll go. In the siege, I think it was the second siege game in the War of the Roses campaign against Robin, where Geoffrey Gate, the Essex guy, the one who's the converted one, just went on a rampage across the board. He was in a men-at-arms unit. He just left the siege works, charged a unit, like a fully armed unit of men-at-arms, got rid of them in one turn, barreled into the next unit in Billenbow, got rid of them, swept around the outside of the castle, basically just waving at the archers. I wouldn't say waving at the cannon, but that had blown itself up in the previous game.
He had to get that in.
He was just walking along the outside of the castle, essentially doing this at everyone in the castle, going like that. And then, because Robin had come out of the castle, I somehow managed to get behind him and sandwich in between, and until now he's always the star. Like in that game that we played, Dom. Like, I mean, he was. I think he was the first unit that got routed off the board in our game because Ken had control of him. But I just look at him and I'm just like, he's just I love him. He was my man of the match, man of the whole campaign. He just went for it, and he didn't. I think he took hardly any casualties as well. It was just on fire the dice, but it was just very cinematic. Someone who's just had enough, jumps over the breast, jumps out of cover and just goes for it.
Go sod it, I'm going for it. I love those sort of units that we all have in our armies that are just like, this is just the golden unit. It just always does well. And then there's other ones you just think that's never going to do well. But again, use it.
You know who it is though in Napoleonics, isn't it? Who is the one unit in all of those games who've got a real lack of rules. They don't have anything special about them, but for some reason they can hold out against the old guard. They can hold out against cavalry. The Hanoverians. I don't understand why. There's nothing. They have no rules. They have nothing. There's nothing.
It's like Landwehr if you're playing Prussians. The Fusiliers, the Grenadiers. Just do absolutely nothing at all. But the Landwehr, they win the game every time.
I know what you can say. Robin says he can remember a small unit of Suffolk's men-at-arms rampaging across it. I do. Yes, yes, I do remember that unit, but I try to forget about it. Solo gaming in D&D says Wizard Fireballs, a gobble unit to a crisp, took an arrow to the butt as he was retreating, ran behind the CNC's horse, to which he was asked, "Are you done yet?" Fantastic. Gwindor says his would be when heavy cavalry brigade charged across a battle in the first turn and rolled up the whole of the opponent's army. That's always fun, along with like two massive cavalry brigades crashing into each other, Dom.
Funny, that one. I wasn't going to mention that, but that was a good one.
Shaco. Well, Shaco said seconds. Let's go to his first one. A last game with 40k he ever played. My bog standard squad of guardsmen killed 2 units. Bayonet charged a big bad enemy hero and killed him. Balls of steel. And then a close second was a unit of Landwehr who saw off a full brigade of Jim Reaper's French and his. What about that unit of Bill and Bow that saw off like all of Margaret of Anjou's division?
That's true. Yeah, just ask Miller about that one. That's true.
Yeah, 2 units of pike and a unit of men at arms.
It's just like, what the hell were they up to?
Jesus.
They'd had their Weetabix.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you what, I think it's time for some news. There's some cracking chat going on. So enjoying this. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this. Yeah. Let's do some news. And we're not going to play the horrific intro. So Dom, what have you seen, or am I doing it first?
I can do it. I saw you picked up most of the things I saw.
I was on it this week. I didn't. I didn't see huge amounts, but I did see. You were out crisp shopping, to be fair.
I was crisp shopping and various other things. I did see our friends at War Bases or Black Sheep Miniatures brought out or talking about a new set of mounted bank robbers. So these look very, very nice indeed. Now, I think from what he said in the post, they're going to use the War Games Atlantic horses. You know, those ones that you could just buy a pack of horses.
Yes.
Right.
So he's done the mounted men for them, and you can buy them, or you'll be able to buy them either with the horses or without horses, and put your own horses under them. So
that's not bad. I quite like
that. Good idea. That
as long as you're offering both options, I think that's good.
Exactly. So that's one thing I saw. Also, thought of you, Steve, for this one. Empress got another pack of Vietnamese figures.
I did not need to see that.
I mean, that strikes me. So they're obviously modeling on the scenes from the pictures below. It just looks to me perfect for sort of a little diorama or a little sort of command base or something. Just perfect. And we know Empress figures are so nice. And then I've talked about this a couple of times in the past, but I do not know what War Games Atlantic is on at the moment. But every day there's something new. So French veteran skirmishers, 3D drink sculpts.
Sorry.
I think they did the little green bastards as well, but I couldn't find the picture.
But they've already got those. They've already sell those. But
these are 3D print jobs, so I don't know. Maybe they're different. Greek Thracian peltasts for the ancient period, which look great. Some barbarians for fantasy.
Why not?
There's your Conan. Look at that. I mean, there's just a range here. It's just ridiculous. Cossack cavalry for the Great War, but I guess they do an earlier period as well, with the different heads you get on there. Aztecs, anybody? Aztec eagle warriors?
Bloody hell.
I mean, you could turn it them, Steve. Look at that.
Oh, God, yes.
Oh, yeah, because they do the conquistadors as well, don't they?
They do indeed. And sub-Roman warlord and retinue. So,
sub-Roman warlord?
I have no idea.
Oh, it's Sarmatian or something. All right, sorry, I didn't see what type. I was confused about.
It's from it's from that period. It's from the Imperial Roman War section. And I'm sure there was some more, but that was the ones I saw. But there's masses of them. Unbelievable how much they're doing at the moment. So, yeah, that's what I saw.
Wow.
I did see some of the things you've posted, so I'll let you talk about
it. So I saw that for what might interest a few people, especially if you want it in your stockings. I think it's out in December. There's a book, it's like an autobiography. It's a biography of John Blanche. And basically the rise of Grimdark, looking at his involvement, his artwork with GW and the development of the style. He did. So those are all on pre-order now. I think I'd actually be quite interested. I love art books. I thought you might be interested in that one, Steve.
Definitely that one.
Sort of the rise and everything. So I thought that was quite cool. Battlefront we knew this was coming. They're re-releasing their World War One Great War stuff. So they've put out released stuff about the 4 army packs you can buy. Now, I don't know if there's any new models in these, or these are all just reissues of the previous ones. But the first one, we've got the Americans. You got Brett's Brawlers.
I love what you were going to say there.
Yeah, Brett's Brawlers, which is an American rifle company. You have Steiner's Stossgruppen, which is a German Stoss company, which looks quite cool. You have a French Fusilier one, which is Clavery's Chargers, which is quite cool. And then you have a British rifle company with Mitchell's Marauders as well. And they are re-releasing the book or that's coming back into print rather. I don't know if they're doing anything different or if there's or anything. You'd have to ask people more in the know. James might know a bit in the chat because I know they, or Tim because they went over to Battlefront and had a look at stuff. But yeah, it's just interesting for those people. But obviously, you could use them for other games as well and other systems because the Battlefront miniatures, if you don't like the Flames of War system, there is still a lot of bits and bobs that you can use. So next up now, there's been a whole bunch of GW stuff, but I did think these were quite cool because we've seen people agonize it. So the Army of the Dead from Lord of the Rings, they've released them as clear acrylics. Look, so I think they, as far as I know, they come like I think they do just come like that. I think maybe you add that the paint top, but yeah, they come as clear acrylics for people who can't. To be honest, I quite like them. I'd be more if I was using these in like a role-playing game or something, I'd probably do them. I mean, they're so easy to paint, these things. I just undercoated them white and then put, I can't remember what the color is, Hexray Flame, and then dry brushed them, and that's it. That's all you needed to do. Other people can do some really fancy things with like smoke and cotton wool. I've even seen someone who's like drilled a LED into each one of them. Anyway, yeah. So I just thought that was quite cool. I like things like that. Getting in on the small scale stuff. War Cradle are releasing a dystopian industrialist set because clearly just for their small scale stuff, not because there's other small scale stuff coming out. But they've got a whole set coming out. But they do things like dystopian wars and legions and things like that. So there's a unit. But if you were looking for somewhere else to get scenery from, then you might want to check out War Cradle. Next up, we have Reconquer Designs. He's posted up a picture here of the Green Knight, Sancho Marin, which is one of the December models. He's already done the guy helmeted. And on horseback, this is just another version of him. Obviously, it's just prolific, and we know and love the stuff that Macross does. So it's always just nice to see what he's putting out. I saw this on what's it called? Is it Empires of War? No, Empires at War. The terrain people. I've forgotten their name. Why has it just dropped out of my head? Empires at War, isn't it? No, Empires at War, isn't it? So, Robin, this is the stuff you bought. You're watching the chat. I don't know. But you got this sort of Abbey mission set that you can get online. So, it'd be a really nice centerpiece for a peninsula table. You can buy it pre-painted or not, which I thought you might be interested in, Tom.
I like it. Yeah. I like it. Yeah. Pre-painted is always good.
Yeah. I think the only thing I would do is get rid of that massive cross on the side of the.
Yeah, that's a bit odd, isn't it?
I mean, I'm sure it's based on something, but I immediately thought of James and
Empires at War.
Empires at War. There we go.
Carl, thank you.
I thought about James and Blood and Plunder.
Oh yes,
I thought that would be very cool for that. And these came up today, and I know people got very excited about these Claymore castings. Just previewed.
Oh yeah, these are awesome.
Of these longbowmen, dismounted longbowmen, which
moisture.
are lovely. Now, my favourite one is on this one, though. It's the guy who's getting his bow out the bag. I really like that. The third one along from the left. I really like that. He's getting his bow out the arrow bag. Really nice.
I'm beginning to see why you dice so badly. Is that you don't have the way actually killing anybody. You have somebody get their weapon ready.
Oh, I like the mundane. That's why I do archaeology. So yeah, fantastic stuff. So some awesome news. Should we get on with the giveaway?
Yeah. Oh God, yes, indeed. Right.
So let's see if I can do this. Right. Let's share the screen. Let's see. Is that working? Can you see my screen?
I can see it.
You can. Okay, so as everyone can see, I've preloaded everything up here. We have 27 people have entered the competition. I know at least one of those has said, if he wins, can he not win? So as you know, so this is for a copy of the Legions Imperialis rulebook, the essentially epic. Ken, unless Ken has created a pseudonym, he hasn't entered, but we will find out if it is him. If you are the winner, if you can please email us at theplasticcrackpodcast@gmail.com with your details, we will pass you on, put you in contact with Ian, who will then get the prize sent out to you. Are we ready? Can I have a drum roll?
Good luck, everybody.
And the winner is...
This could change your life.
Completed Chief 9. He said about last week, great show as always. Are you sure you're watching the same one? always a good source of inspiration. I would love to have a chance to play Legions Imperialis. Well, congratulations. You are the winner of the rulebook, which will be coming out to you. So if you can either just give us an email by next week's stream, if you can, to theplasticcrackpodcast@gmail.com. We will pass your information over to Ian over at Boards and Swords, who will get that sent over to you. So there we go. Awesome.
Congratulations.
And thank you. Of course, we are sponsored by Boards and Swords, who give us lovely giveaways and a 5% discount for all your Christmas shopping, which, you know, if you're buying for other gamers or yourself, you know, maybe just go over, just nip over there and do it. Just nip over.
Because you've deserved that little treat. That's what you've deserved. You've worked hard all year. You put up with all this stuff. You deserve it.
Speaking of little treats, what would everyone's other half really like on Christmas morning? Well, absolutely, they would love a PCP set of dice and a mug. I know,
that's smooth. Well done.
I know that if you're going through your stocking, that having a set of these tumble out of your stocking would really set the day up. Joke aside, we've had loads of orders come in for these, so thank you very much. This is still open until the 30th, so we'll be taking orders until the 1st of December. So remember, if you want a set of dice, these prices include postage, unless you're abroad, in which case we'll work out the postage. So if you're in the UK, £9 gets you a dice, including postage. A mug is 15, or you get the awesome combination where for £20 you get the mug and the dice. And you get to drink your Baileys or your eggnog or your other Christmas beverage out of it. I dare say the last stream of the year might involve some alcohol, so hopefully we'll have them out by then. But we will see. So we've still got 3 days left on those. So remember, if you want it, please email us at theplasticcrackpodcast@gmail.com. If you message one of us, we can probably on Facebook, we can do the details of that. But if you want to be guaranteed to get one, you need to email. And obviously, everyone who's put your orders in, you've only got a few more days. We'll get the orders off to the manufacturers, and then it will all be sent out. So thank you very much. There we go,
Joseph. I think I owe you a price for shipping. I will send it to you tomorrow. Sorry.
Brilliant. Well, there we go. So, should we get back on with some questions? Because I'm enjoying that. Let's do a random one. Let's have a look. There we go. What would make you leave the hobby permanently? Love, Ian.
Is that a request or?
I don't know. That's not sponsor, Ian. I don't think.
No.
I don't know. I in all honesty, unless I was mentally incapable of doing anything anymore, or even physically, even if I was physically incapable, I think I'd still try and do something around the hobby. But mentally, probably would be the challenge. So no, I don't think there would be much. Yeah, because the beauty of the hobby is you don't have to play what's de rigueur. You can play something from your collection because it never goes out of flavour.
What about you, Steve?
The only thing would be if I woke up one day and there'd been a bit of a change in the community and Napoleonics were mandatory. I'd be like, see ya, I'm off to do something a lot more interesting, like jam making or stabbing myself in the head repeatedly with a fork. No, I'm not dumb. I can't see anything really. And it's one of those hobbies apart from the willpower or lack thereof, you've got full control over what you want to do. If you want to play something, play it. If you want to paint something, paint it. If you don't want to paint something, Napoleonic drummers, you don't have to. There's no call for it. So no, I can't imagine there'd be anything that would make me outside of something
tragic or something happening, you know, I can't see there being anything that would make me want to. The hobby's always here and is my way of de-stressing, and there might be times that I walk away from it for what I would consider an extended time, which would be a couple of weeks probably, but I doubt I would ever leave it entirely, because I think even if I was walking away from modeling, I'd still be gaming. And and you know, if for some reason I couldn't game, I would still want to do my modeling and my painting. So no, I think what would make me leave it, I don't know. Someone stole all my if I would probably find it very hard if there was, touch wood, a natural disaster and all my models got wiped out. I would probably need a good year of mourning before I could. I know some people have recently been through it with floods and that, and I mass respect for you being able to just jump back on it. I think I'd need a little bit of time off to grieve for my hobby. Like Dom, like if you came back and just found a big pile of ash where your boot room was.
yeah, it would be hard, but I actually don't. Apart from I'm not going to say I would not be very, very upset and sick as a parrot and probably cry a lot and shout a lot and rant a lot. I don't think I'd actually stop gaming. I'd still go down the club.
Yeah,
you know, it wouldn't change that in that sense.
Yeah, just buy some of Ken's models.
Yeah.
So let's see what people have said. There seems to be a common theme here. Someone, so Mark said if he went deaf. Dave said if he was in a coma. Gary said, what about an ultimatum from the wife? John said if GW became the only option left in the UK. Solo gaming in a D&D would said the wife said wargaming and me. I miss what's her name. Robin, to quote 40k, only in death does service end. Bicker said if he went blind, he'd still stay in the history side of things, but he doesn't know what he can stay if he couldn't see. And then G Waller buying out the Perrys. Good stuff. Good shout. Let's have a look.
That just proves we're all completely obsessed.
Yeah,
pretty
more
much
about our state of minds than. Oh, this is a good one. So this one's from John. What historical battle or campaign do you feel is overexposed in the hobby? Which battle or campaign do you think should be explored more? John, I think I know what the obvious one is, but I'm clear. You know, I would say my fear is I'd say that Waterloo, the 100 Days, is probably the overexposed. In that pit, certainly well, I would argue. Probably more, and then for World War II, what would you reckon, Steve? What's the most overexposed one for World War II? Maybe D-Day or
D-Day,
Stalingrad.
Stalingrad.
Yeah. I think Stalingrad's probably bigger in terms of gaming than even D-Day, don't you think?
Or is it Bastogne? Or
I don't know. I'm with Dom. I think it'd be Stalingrad. I mean, it's. I can see why, because it's such a. I'm going to say interesting, but it was horrific. It wasn't interesting. Oh, it was bloody horrific. But I can see why people do it, because it is from a gaming perspective. You're going to have an awesome setup. I just think there's, no matter what system you're playing, you could always play, sort of Stalingrad. So yeah, yeah.
Dom, what do you reckon? What's your
my immediate thought was Waterloo. Because I agree with you entirely with that. I think probably a second, if I was looking at Napoleonics, probably a secondary one would be Peninsula generally. I think that's another one. I think there's a tendency for Napoleonic, for some people who play Napoleonics to only see those campaigns, either the Waterloo campaign or the Peninsula campaign, as being
the British involved.
Basically where the British were involved is pretty much the only thing that happened in Napoleonics, and as we know, it went on for a considerable length of time before that. And although the Brits were involved, they didn't get that heavily involved until later on. So I'd love to see a bit more focus on some of those other campaigns. That's for sure.
Would you be surprised if you went to like a convention or a gaming day and there wasn't a single Napoleonic game going on?
I would. Yeah, absolutely, I would. I think it's one because the visual effect and the look of the games, it just always looks good.
So, what one do you think deserves more exposure, in your opinion? Like campaign or period?
Oh, if I was looking at Napoleonics, I would probably say the Napoleon's campaigns in Italy, in the early part of the Napoleonic War. Well, that part of the Napoleonic War, I think that would be one that doesn't get anywhere near the attention it should, because it's just, I mean, you have a general who is at the top of his game. That was before he could do cavalry charges, obviously.
You had to add it, didn't you? You
had to add that in. I couldn't let it.
Nearly got for it. 90 minutes.
I haven't even seen the film yet myself. Anyway, you had a commander at the top of his game with an army that was probably as well trained as it ever got. I think that's an amazing campaign and doesn't get anywhere near enough coverage, personally.
Okay, Steve, what about you? What? Let's stick to sort of our, if you like, preferred period. What World War II coverage do you think deserves more?
Well, mine was going to be bolt action related. I was going to say Korea. Because I was actually talking to my mate about this the other night, because when the Korean book for bolt action came out, it'll be I think it's 5 years next year. We were really excited. I actually got the book the day it came out, and it just seems to have stalled and gone nowhere. I've not seen any battle reports, and having read into it, it's really interesting, and there's such a diverse range of uniforms and nations, and I just think it is underrepresented. It's very rare you see it being played in any rule system. And I don't know whether I couldn't tell you what the reason is, because like I say, it is an interesting conflict. Definitely underrepresented.
Well, they call it the Forgotten War anyway. Yeah. So I guess from a wargaming perspective, it certainly is. Yeah, good shout.
See, I was trying to think of medieval things that aren't represented very well, but the medieval period is just essentially one long piece of constant warfare. I think the Burgundian Wars deserve more of a look than they get. The Swiss Burgundian Wars, because obviously you have the input of French, you have the ordnance. There's a lot more. It's quite short. You've got some really interesting characters. There are people out there doing it, but I just think there's a lot more there to be explored, especially the tactics in the battlefields, or pikemen charging down a hill through a forest into the side of the Burgundians.
What rule set would allow you to do that? Hey,
I don't. Oh well, yes, exactly. But we shall move on. He's still not over that, He's still not over it. I think he's got. Yeah, well, we'll see. Which is why I'm not going to play him again. Let's see what people have said here. Gettysburg for the ACW. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. You would think sometimes that's the only battle that ever took place.
Yep. Gary says, although the 100 Days is overexposed, I suggest that Lingy is underexposed.
Yeah, fair point.
Good point.
Because the British weren't involved. That's why.
Yeah, Shaco said World War II Normandy. Every World War II game is set there or just about. Dave says Gettysburg as well. Robin, Normandy, 44. John says Waterloo, Battle of the Bulge, and D-Day. Excellent. See, we're all at a good level. What else have we got? Miller's harping on about the film. We'll just call it that. God. The film.
Did I trigger him again?
John said, underexposed to German-Danish conflicts. You're welcome, Benjamin. And John does raise a good point, which is the exposure level is dictated by model availability. Every manufacturer does Waterloo D-Day because it will sell. That's true. Yeah, you have got to take a punt, which is why if you can find like a figure set that can do multiple things, like the Burgundian War can be done easily from the War of the Roses sets. It's the same time period. It's the same armor. It's basically exactly the same, actually, come to think of it. Napoleon in North Africa, Gwindor says.
Good shout.
Italy 43 from Robin. Great Northern War. Right. I really want to game that. I really, really want to game it. And this is going to feed into another question in a minute. But that's something that would be like a passion project, the Great Northern War.
But the uniforms scare the shit sugar.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, you're gonna have you're gonna have like snow, because I'm just gonna be really, really sweeping and say it's all snowy.
So this is really the reason you just want to get back to your snow problem again.
No, I just like uniforms standing out against a nice stark white background. But yeah, absolutely, it's really easy, and I've got a snowman. Really nice one. Soviet Japanese war.
Yeah,
that's a good shout.
That's some
Russo-Japanese war is very good.
I wonder how many projects this is going to now kick off.
Because it's terrifying, absolutely terrifying.
Okay, Solo's right. Anything Japanese civil wars, that's kind of good. Yeah.
So we might as well come on to this, because I've just hinted at it. This one was from Sean. Is there a period that you'd love to do but just can't see yourselves ever being able to get round to? Mine would be the Great Northern War, because it's another big black powder project. I'm doing my Zulu one. That's not particularly big, because my British Army is currently up to 5-6 units, and I think I'm only going to do 9 total, because the battles, apart from a couple, weren't particularly large affairs from the British perspective. But you haven't got huge, you're not talking Napoleonic levels of armies here, or like ancient armies. The Zulus, you can easily get a horde mechanic going by just recycling unit. Once a unit destroyed, it re-enters the board. You can kind of do that thing. Great Northern War, there's some lovely models out there. I looked at doing it in 6, but then I remembered that I did that other stuff in 6 that we won't talk about, and I just don't want to. I know Steve's doing it in 6, and it looks amazing. I've got, I just think I'd like to do it, and I'd want to do it because of the uniforms. I'd want to do it in 28, and I'd want to show it off, but I don't think I'll ever get around to it. What about you guys?
Recently I've been a bit of a hobby butterfly. I know it's hard to tell.
Hadn't noticed, mate.
Okay, sweeping statements that I make. So I'm never getting involved in 20 mil. I'm now doing 20 mil. A couple of months back, I said that I wouldn't. Basically, the American War of Independence, and recently I've sort of been reading about it and looking at the figures, and I think that might be something next year, possibly sharp practice related. But again, it's something that I don't know, a period that I wouldn't do, but I want to is probably ancients. I'd love to, but I theoretically can't see myself ever doing it. I don't know why. It's just not. It's just. Well, definitely not 28 mil anyway. I might do it at a smaller scale, but I would never commit to a 28 mil Ancients army. Couldn't do it.
Dom, what's one you want to do? Never get around to doing it.
I would love. I've always been fascinated by the battles, because I think I read a lot of them when I was younger, and it just as a Brit, you can't really look anywhere else from. Is the Spanish Succession Wars, Marlborough.
That's different to what I thought you were going to say.
I love the idea of it. I love the look of the troops. There's lots of cavalry involved, which is always exciting. But I would never do it because of the uniforms.
Isn't that Dick Winker's period?
It is. Dick Winker.
Yeah. Good old Dick.
Good old Dick.
Good
Long
old
may it
Dick
rain. Yeah. So yes, that would be definitely one. What did you think I was going to say then?
I thought you were going to say Mongols.
Well, I do have a bit. I do have a little bit of a thing about the Mongol history for sure. Yeah,
it's just the thought of all that. I mean, because I know, we've said, sometimes it's not a problem painting cavalry, but you're just going to be painting.
To be honest, it's not the cavalry that puts me off that. I've yet to find a rule set that I think really reflects the capabilities of a Mongol army, because they have to be really. It's a small army compared to most of the forces they went up against, and it's really hard to reflect that terror and uncertainty that they bring into the battlefield, and just elite nature they had. I just don't think I've never seen a rule set, and I'd love any suggestions anybody has that really reflects that kind of the way they performed in reality on the tabletop.
If not, we'll write one. Yeah, next the night before.
I'm pretty sure there's going to be one out there.
I've never found one yet, Steve.
That's bizarre. I mean, you'd think somebody would have written something.
Yeah, it's really odd. It's I'm not, I have been doing this hobby a long time, but I'm quite prepared to say that I've not played every rule set that's out there, or even seen every rule set out there. But I've never seen one yet.
Well, let's see what some of the viewers are saying. Where have they gone? War of Spanish Succession, Great Northern War. There's someone else. Gwindor said his would be War of the Roses, but as his father has done enough for both sides. Well, that's helpful when you have a friend that does all that. Like my friend is painting up both the forces for Tribal Wars tonight. Hey, Miller. Just saying. Italian Wars is one from Bicker. Basement says he wants to do Mass Samurai Wars, but that
you're a madman.
Yeah, that's
Steve, please do that. I would love to see that. That would just
you heard it. Let's get many people who wants to see that. I want to see it. I think we'll vote here.
Yeah.
Marbrun as well. What else have we got? Anthony West says Warring States. Chinese Warring States. That would be a cool one.
That's a good one. Used to be a really good Warhammer Ancient Battles book on that.
They are good. Basement just said voting's closed. All right, let's see what I know which one we're going to do last. Let's see what we've got here. We've got a little one. I'm not going to do that War of the Roses one. That's I don't know why I even put that on here, actually. Here we go. Here's the one. What is the ideal wargaming snack and beverage combination? Well, I can recommend the Two Farmers Hereford. What's this? Hereford Bullshot. What are these?
I think
these are beef.
They're beef flavour. Yeah. Oh, there's all different flavours in there, mate.
Oh. Oh my god! All right, I'm just gonna. Right, I didn't realise. Oh,
yeah, I got you assaulted.
Yes, thank you. Oh, I know. I was gonna be sitting here just stuffing my face. I always put a pizza on for a war game. I think a big pizza that you then have halfway through the game, or you have a pizza and then you buy one for Miller to have to himself. Because he just saying, it's a bit like Gremlins. You can't feed him after a certain time as well. You saw it, Dom. If you feed him or give him beer after a certain time, he turns into a monster. Sorry, dude. I know you're he does. He comes with rules, like on it, like on his back. We need to make him a T-shirt with it. Anyway, I always enjoy pizza, and for beverage, I do enjoy ale with my gaming. Not wine, because it gets too messy too quick. What about you guys?
For me, it's got to either be Vimto or coffee. Usually coffee. My mate drinks tea. He has weapons grade tea. It's so strong a spoon can stand up in it, and he has to be supplied this like every half an hour.
The two of you just as artificial stimulants coming out of every orifice. It's ridiculous. What is going on?
Yeah,
Teas, Vimto.
Yeah, coffee. For me, it'd be coffee. I've got to have. I very, very rarely drink any sort of alcoholic beverage while I'm gaming. I think I've only ever done it once in my entire life.
Interesting.
The night in Derby doesn't count because that was CrackCon, and everyone drinks at CrackCon. But no, and for snacks, dry roasted peanuts. I eat an ungodly amount of dry roasted peanuts, so Yeah,
Wow.
that's going to be my snack of choice.
Wow, I'm impressed. For me, it's beer, both for snack and drink. No, I just love having a beer while I'm having a game. I wouldn't do wine; just feels wrong. And if I went on the whiskey or something like that, I'd probably fall off the end of the table. So that's probably not a wise thing. And probably some sort of crispage, that's for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Although I get a bit wary of people eating certain snacks and then getting near my models.
Yeah, that's the only problem with greasy fingers near your toys. I don't like that. No.
The worst thing will be like someone eating like a family-sized bag of Watsits or something, and then with an orange, greasy, stained hand going towards your exquisitely painted miniatures, and that figure you've spent 6 hours has now got a smeary Watsit beard because some thumb has been all over it. Oh,
yeah, but it'd be fine though, Steve, if you varnished it, no problem at all.
He
does raise a good point. He does
raise a good point. I'm hoping Watsits use it on their next campaign.
Let's see where Yorkshire tea and Yorkshire crisps. Rum and biscuits for a game of Blood and Plunder. I played.
That's very authentic.
I've got an where is it? I've got an RPG called Shadows of Esteren. Where is it? And it comes with. Where is it? Hang on a second. Is it that one? That's the Arcs book. Hang on. There is method here.
What if your drink had to reflect the game?
Yeah, that's So you could drink brandy or something.
Idea. So you're playing Stalingrad, and you've got to drink vodka or snaps.
Bloody hell, that wouldn't be a very pleasant. What's that? Third 6, Steve? Why are you unconscious, mate? I mean, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work.
Look at this one. Look, so this is for an RPG. It came with recipes.
Oh, freaking hell!
Look. So here's the first course: crusted calorie terrine with more crosshair hazelnuts and porcini. There's the list. And then look, they give you a full-page picture of what the bloody thing should look like. And then you've got poached pears because of basic. And then what's this one here? It's lamb. It's lamb with herbs. Look. And so this all comes with like a part of a campaign because it's all set in a monastery. This is the food that your character's going to be eating. This is what you should have on the table. Which I quite like. I think that's quite
dedication.
Fun.
I like that. That's good.
That's quite fun. Basement says Kentucky Mule, bourbon and a splash of lemon juice, splash of bitters, ginger beer, throw a piece of mint on top.
Love it.
Yorkshire coffee.
Yeah,
absolutely. Iron brew and shortbread, especially if you're playing the Scots. Solo says I always eat the period I'm gaming. That's why I don't play Japanese, as I have a low tolerance for sake. There seems to be a lot of basically to keep. There's a lot of bourbon getting consumed in here. Satchel says NATO standard. Tea snacks, nothing greasy to not transfer fingers to models or books. Yeah, it's a good point about the books.
Books are very true.
Absolutely. John says mead, red wine, bread, and cheese.
Mead. Ooh. Can we feed Ken with that? And
I used to make mead. I used to make mead and put it in the cupboard under the stairs to brew. You just just put it in an old 2-litre lemonade bottle, put loads of honey from Tesco's in there, shake it up, put champagne yeast in there, and leave it under the stairs for 6 weeks.
Isn't that a fire hazard? Couldn't that explode or something? That's brilliant. I love it.
It was. It sometimes was nice. It was actually quite nice if you chucked a tea bag in there. You got I'm not joking. Nice. I'm not joking. It was quite nice.
Reminds me at university we did homebrew for when we were in halls for a while. We had a little beer club, and so we'd make homebrew every week in those massive, big dustbin things, and we'd have it on a go in a sequence. So there was one ready, and there was another one was be ready the next week, and the 4 of us who did it would have to stay in the same room until we drunk it all. That was really messy. That was really messy.
Uh,
You weren't allowed out for anything.
no. God, no! My friend put the champagne yeast in his mead, and he decided to bottle it and actually cap it. And when you opened it, it basically exploded and took the head off the bottle, and nearly off the person opening it.
Brilliant.
So let's have a look. Right, we've only got 10 minutes left, so I reckon we're going to have a look at some photos.
Overtime?
We'll do some overtime. We've got plenty of questions, and we can always go on to those in our final one of the year, where I'm sure there's going to be some alcohol. Let's have a look at some photos, and I've got a couple to finish with. Remember, if we didn't get around to your question, we've still got 3 more episodes left in a year, and we're always looking for things to talk about. So we'll talk about them, and we quite like to get Ken's opinion.
Do we?
I don't know. I was trying to think. It was a bit of a tumbleweed moment then. So let's have a look. Now, as always, if you are working on projects, please, if you haven't already, join us over on Facebook at the Plastic Crack Podcast. You can find a link down below. Answer Dom's questions free, and you will be granted access to the Promised Land, which is a very, very lovely community of people. And there's so many varied projects going on in there, and so many pictures that we don't possibly have time to get them all. So I've done a sort of a wide array. There's been a lot of games being posted recently, which is awesome.
I love seeing the games.
Yeah, me too. It's always good. And let's have it. So Alid has been working on his table for Dead Man's Hand.
Nice.
Look at that.
That's some serious work there. Wow.
That is
job,
no sniping Dom on that one. No long range taking.
What do you mean? I don't do that. I don't. I think you're confusing me with Jonathan. Sorry.
Oh, well, I think Jonathan would like that board because there's so many buildings for him to go and hide in.
He can hide in so many
That is
places.
a very nice looking board. Alex, I didn't see Alex in the chat tonight. I did watch his review of Napoleon just before we came online.
He posted it. I'm gonna
but he was playing some Pacific things, Pacific Theatre stuff at O Group, which I thought looked very cool. Arthur, when he's not writing American Civil War rule sets, was finishing this for, I think he said it was for Oathmark.
Oathmark.
He did.
Absolutely.
Look at that.
That is impressive, isn't it? I love that.
Lovely stuff. Really, really nice. I just like this to look at the whole thing.
Yeah, it's just fantastic.
The chariots are just brilliant. Yeah.
Everyone has to love a chariot.
Everyone likes a chariot. Yeah.
They do. Andrew, he had this was called American War of Independence game.
Very good.
Nice, very nice. And also, someone did mention this earlier, another one that probably doesn't get the love that it deserves. Hopefully that will change. But look at that. How cracking does that look? I love the surgeon with the guy on the table just behind the line. Lovely stuff. Craig, working on a Napoleonic command base there.
Good.
Note the cork.
Yep.
Notes the cork there for Steve. Dan, he's there you go. There's his 10. I couldn't believe this was 10 mil to start with.
Gee whiz. 10 mil, really?
This is these are those rock miniatures, yeah.
I can safely say that my purchase at the weekend was fully 100% inspired by Dan and his weekly updates on this army. I am so looking forward to getting these. I really am. But I think Dan, if you need some inspiration for 10 mil fantasy, Dom, check out Dan's work. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely brilliant.
I'll check it out immediately after this stream, mate.
Good stuff.
Next up, Jeremy has some World War II Germans.
Oh, nice.
Winter Germans. Always nice. Very nice. I love the snow. I like the snow. I love this one. Blacks. It's Zombie Hulk.
Of course it is.
It's Zombie Hulk.
That's me watching Fury.
The guy I work with, he doesn't like Fury, but he hates Dunkirk even more. And I pressed him about it, and he actually said he'd rather watch Fury than Dunkirk again. He said he just hated that film with because he a bit like he has such a I don't want to say a passion for Dunkirk. That sounds really bad. You know what I mean? Like he knows so much about history and how it should look and what's been done. That film made him do cartwheels, and it's but that is awesome. Is that? I assume that's for the zombie side game.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think so.
Gotta love that. Very cool. Oh, I meant to mention this earlier in the news, but it's ended up out here. But Border Wars are doing a pre-order on the next wave of stuff that got kickstarted.
Oh yeah,
It's just wound its way into the photos down here for some reason. So yeah, go check that out. We always love a bit of what Ian's doing.
Yeah.
Dave has been working on these are Portuguese, aren't they?
Oh, nice. Yes.
Very, very nice.
Oh, nice.
Very cool. Very
Yeah,
nice.
like
Gary has been doing the hussars. I mean, I'm
Oh,
sorry,
Gary.
I wasn't shuddering at your paper. I'm shuddering at the thought of having to do them again. That they are creative. They just look awesome. Maybe I should do. No.
Yeah, I think you need a few more.
No, I don't. No, I don't. Lovely stuff. Meza, Carl.
Hey, Carl.
His dwarf army.
Oh,
It's lovely. Yeah.
Nice.
Look at that. Really, really nice. Really, really, really cool. Lovely stuff. Don was showing off Rapid Fire. He was running games
lovely.
at the weekend.
Was that
really
between
nice.
his 40k adventures?
Yeah.
I did see that. But then we'll come on to that. That's what I I think that's what's great. He does so much to do this, but he's quite happy to then to go and play some sci-fi as well. Perfect. Matt Klein over in the States, he fell in love with the Fireforge plastics.
Oh, they are lovely.
I mean, they've only been out for like a week, haven't they? And then or a couple of weeks, and he's blasted
Something like that.
He's done even more as well. You can see he's got all the chaps behind with swords and things. I mean, they do look cool if you're looking for that. So those people who are all about doing mass.
There you are, Steve. There you go. Yeah. Just there for you, mate.
There you go.
They're ready
there
for
you go. Lovely stuff. Lovely work. Matt has been doing.
Oh my goodness! Look at them.
Yes, these are Swiss.
Italian.
I can't remember. I think are they 10 or are they 6? I think they're 10.
They look like
they must be 10.
They've got to be 10. Wow.
They've got to be 10. Lovely. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see. Very
Lots
nice.
of banners. Love it.
Absolutely. Lee posted this up. This is his Warcry warband, and the Legionnaires with the big guy at the back. And I just really like the armor. I just really liked the armor. I mean, I like the whole thing, but the armor just really stood out to me. I thought it was very, very nice. Phil blaming Steve, 20 mil. There we go.
These are ace. Absolutely fantastic work on the camo there, mate.
I know. They are really, really cool. Coming up next, I love this. This is 100 mil.
Whoa!
Look at that.
100 mil.
That is by Roy. Lovely. Cracking stuff. I love it. Really, really nice. Really nice. Steve, as always, lots of Kings of War. I can't remember what he said these were now. I want to say it's the rat dudes against the orcs.
Or the rat kids.
But I just love the picture of his games because I do like looking at rank and flank stuff. Fantasy.
Is that a temple or is that a war machine?
I think it's probably both at the same time.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay.
It's probably, I'm going to guess, but really nice stuff. And I do like Kings of War. I do need to play more of it. Steve, he made a book nook. This is madness. This is madness. I love it. I also want it on my table. Actually on my battlefield. But what a cracking I mean, I have seen these before. They did one in the OPC a while ago, didn't they? Kind of thing. Like I paid for it, and it just really inspiring, really nice stuff. Steve. Oh, Steve, here we are. So this is what we're on about. Getting ready for his Valor and Fortune game.
I mean, just a little tiny game. Just a
small game. I mean, look at that. I deliberately chose this picture because of all the Union Jacks I knew would make Dom happy.
Smiley
face. But now just imagine all of those back banners for Samurai. What they call not Sashimono. They're Sashimono? Is that what they call? I can't remember. That would look cool. Imagine all of those Samurai.
We need to start one of those, kind of what do you do? Polls, to get everybody to agree that Steve should do.
Yeah,
Samurai. Just saying.
I don't have the words for what's on the screen. I just
Are you getting palpitations, mate?
I'm having chest pains again. Just the thought of painting that amount. I don't
It's
know.
cracking.
That makes me
Lovely
want to get my
stuff.
British out. I haven't played with my British for ages. I'm going to get them out. Fantastic.
Just play with them on the table. Just play.
yeah,
with them.
I'm not going to play against anybody else. I'm just going to get them out.
just play with them. And let's have a look. And the last photo is Tony did some Italians, and I had to whack those up because we do like seeing Italians.
Lovely.
Really nice, really nice. Now, we're obviously running out of time. We've hit 10 o'clock. Do we have time for one more question? I think we do.
Yeah,
go on.
I think we do.
It's only a
all right then. Let's. Shit.
It's all right.
Really? Wow. Oh, happy birthday, Elaine. Cheers.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Don't worry.
Happy birthday, Elaine.
She said, "No, you can go and play with your friends, so it's fine."
Play with
there we go. There are some cracking questions in here, and we will try and answer more of them in the next game. But let's have it from here. This one was one for Sean. Where do we all see the plastic crack bean in 5 years' time? Do you all have any ideas for making it even more appealing to the hobby than it already is? Well, first of all, thank you for thinking that we're appealing.
Yes, that's quite a stretch, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Where do we see it in 5 years? Well, let's talk about the rest of the year first. We've got the strip. We know we got the lineup for the next year. So next week we are over with Steve. No, he's over there. We're over with Steve on HQ, and the topic will be confirmed. But we've always got a lot of questions to fall back on. In fact, we could just answer all these questions up till Christmas. And then it'll be Domorai, and then the final one will be Domorai. Yeah, so that's how it works. So we've only got 3 episodes left in 2023.
Oh my goodness.
We've already got things lined up for a new year. We've got guests lined up, and we've got some new, hopefully a slightly new format with guests as well, which I know I was talking about with Dom, and I hadn't had a chance to tell Steve about yet. So we've got some ideas, but we've got plenty of things lined up to do more with the plastic crack. What do you guys think? I mean, we would love to do a game, but it's very hard to get all of us together in one place. But maybe we should maybe 2024 is the year that we should try and do one at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love that. I would. I think that would be if we filmed that battle report. I think that would be just such a laugh. It'll be interesting. I don't know. I just think what I like about it is that whenever we've done stuff, it's never been forced. It's just always happened sort of organically. So CrackCon, merchandise, the dice, the Facebook group. It's just layer upon layer of PCP goodness. I've got no idea. I wouldn't want to make any guesses because we really could do anything. That's the scare.
Weren't you going to do a cooking channel, or was that just for you? Can't remember. Wasn't that one of your things?
Me?
No, Steve was going to do
a cooking channel.
Wasn't he going to do a cooking channel? That must have been one of those weird dreams I had. Do you know, I'd like you. I struggle to think exactly what we would do different. I'd love to throw that back to the people watching. What would they want us to do? Because I kind of... I think it's sort of like Steve says, it's sort of had a natural flow. Things have evolved a bit and we've changed a little bit. We haven't done a huge amount of changes. But do you like the guests? Do you want different guests? What kind of guests would you like? Would you like to, something we don't do that you'd like us to do?
Yeah. No, we've got it's a broad church because do people want more side? Actually, I'm not even gonna say it. Do they want more side? We like to obviously, I mean, I guess some of the things we like to do. I mean, people obviously have emailed us about the dice and merch that, and we do them because they're fun. And we do them obviously to support CrackCon and the charity drive, and then we just like after CrackCon to make those available to the people who can come. But so we do joke sometimes about sort of the things we could write on dice trays and t-shirts and all of that kind of stuff, which is always just laugh. But all of that just gets fed back into sort of like the CrackCon pot, so we can do bigger things there and keep going. I mean, to be honest, I think we're generally quite happy, but like I say we have got a few ideas that we've been bouncing around. Certainly with sort of some of the format of the things to do with the guests. I hope we're still doing it in 5 years. I will be 44, which will make me sad.
You're lucky, mate. Bloody hell.
Yeah, you're very lucky.
Yeah, my oldest will be 12, about to hit the teens, so I'll probably be just about teetering on the edge.
You'll be struggling. You'll need the bourbon then. Jeez.
Yeah, and then Ken's child will be 5, which will be hilarious because he'll be a shell of the human that he is now.
I'll tell you one thing I would throw out there, that if we could ever get sponsored in some way where we could go and do a crack con in America or down under or something like that.
God, yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Crack on tour.
Yeah, crack on tour.
Yeah, crack on tour. Maybe we should try. I did want to get to do a thing up and down the country where, like, a road trip where we just go and like visit people. But then I realized that we would just spend an awful lot of time drunk.
Yeah.
That would happen.
Yeah, we would. We visit. But let's just quickly have a look, and then what we'll do.
Salute, I like that.
Yeah, salute maybe could be a goal. CrackCon, the international tour. 5 years time, the PCP will still be going with very lost-looking Ken. He will be. He has no idea. I am looking.
Not an idea.
This. Remember this. Are you going to have Ken as a guest?
I like that.
Paul wants to run a book on how many episodes Ken will make in the last out of the last 3. CrackCon 10 will be the big salute. The guests are going to be staying at Steve's place. Ken could do some features onto free. No, we're not going to talk about that. More of the same. What else we got here? Love having the guests on. Never change, gents, but CrackCon at least twice a year will kill us.
We did it 1 year, didn't we? And that was
I think that near broke us doing 2 in a year. Yeah,
we've talked about maybe just doing some meetups and things like that, which is a little bit different. Obviously, you don't get like the sponsorship and the giveaways and that. Just meet up to have some games. That might be a bit more doable. Once the children are older, you could do a Fury scenario with Steve playing the lone tank and the others playing the Germans. That's quite a fun idea, actually. Bicker says we've got to come over to Adepticon.
We'd love to.
And then, as Shaco says, more of the same, slow and steady organic additions. What makes it? I'd love in 5 years there to be multiple community CrackCons spreading out over the year. More crack, more at a time. Absolutely. Basement wants to know how old Don will be in 5 years' time. It's easier to count projects.
I had to count that up. 21. That's it. That's what I'll be. 21.
There we go. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. As of course, as I've already said, we are sponsored by the awesome people at Boards and Swords. Congratulations to the winner of Legions Imperialis. Remember to email us your information and we will get that over to Ian and he will send that out to you. Just as a reminder, just in case you miss it, that is Completed Chief 9 who won that. Next week, we are over on Steve's channel for more debate and discussion with all of the backup questions as well. In the meantime, remember to take care of yourselves and we will see you all again this time next week over on Point HQ. So anyway, thank you for tuning in and we'll see you all later.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a good week.
Bye now. Bye.